Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? James Merrifield here, filming another video for you. This one here is on internal and external leadership growth. So I want to start this one off with a quote. The quote is, "Without continual growth and progress, such words as improvement, achievement, and success have no meaning." So basically what that means in a nutshell is that we really, in a position of leadership, we really have to work on our internal and external growth and leadership. That is something that's very critical. It's something that I practice daily. I think to fully maximize and optimize your position in leadership is very critical that you work on yourself daily. Now, for myself, I begin the second I wake up. First thing in the morning, right when I feel my eyes, right when I open my eyes and my conscience starts to kick in and I'm awake now, I start giving thanks immediately. And I start giving thanks for everything from my wife to my kids, to the roof over our head, to my dog, to the warm water that's running in the shower. Thanks that I'm alive and that I can I can walk on my feet. I can still use my hands. Give thanks. That attitude of gratitude goes a long way, and it really does, help you wake up with a positive mindset. I take it as far even as, when I'm in the shower, saying my affirmations out loud so I can hear myself. I tell myself, I will retire by the age of 47 years old, with over $50 million in assets. But I just go, I go on and I'm starting off my day right. I'm starting off my day good. I'm working on myself. The second that, even in the shower, I turn on the podcast, or I'll turn on like a really good YouTube video with some positive reinforcement. It's strictly positive reinforcement. I'm not a big fan of the news, so you will never see me watching the news. I'm not a big fan of normal talk radio. I can't stand some of the things that the DJs will say, and whether it be anything from politics to right now, scaring everybody to death, with the COVID-19, that sort of thing. It's got to be positive, especially first thing in the morning. It's got to be positive. You've really got to start your day out on a positive note, and this is how you do it. It's not just going to come to you. It's not one of these things where positivity is just waiting for you at the front door. We all know that once you open up that door and you set foot out into the real world, there's a bunch of things that come with this world, and lots of things that can really either make or break your day. So as far as internal and external growth in your leadership areas, you really need to make sure that you're reading great books as well. I don't know what kind of books you read, but just a couple of good examples of the books that I've been reading. I love the John Maxwell books on leadership. I love reading. I think I've read Think and Grow Rich about 5 times now. 5 times. I've read the Dale Carnegie's book. As far as it's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. I read books with great value. Books that are really going to help me out in life. Books that are going to keep my brain focused on being the best possible me and always taking myself to the next level. Just learning as much as I can. All these books add great value to me. It's not a matter of I never read anything that is of no value to me. Like I will not pick it up. I will not even think twice about looking at it. It's just if it doesn't have to do with positivity, and if it doesn't have to do with growth, I'm not reading it. It's just basically, it's how I keep myself in fine tune. It's how I keep myself, in good shape mentally. A couple other things, a couple things I want to talk about is just, when you start going through a phase of, reading books, and you start going through a phase of listening to podcasts, it's one good thing to know that you're feeding yourself. You're gaining a lot of knowledge and you're gaining a lot of wisdom, but all of that knowledge and wisdom does nothing if you don't apply it. So you don't just read it or listen to it. You have to practice it daily. You got to make it practical. It's got to be a practical, part of your life, a practical part of your body. Now, are you going to do all these things that you're reading and all these things that you're listening to? Probably not. But one thing that I do suggest is that you take bits and pieces of all the things that you read and you listen to, and you piece those things together. And you know what you do? You create your own book. You create your own knowledge. You create your own a series of life actions, and I guarantee you, give or take within a few years, maybe sooner, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, you definitely be a whole new different leader than you were when you first started on your journey of leadership. That's really critical that you embrace that, on the learning part. Don't just read it or listen to it, but you've got to practice it. You've got to put it into your daily practices. Last thing I want to talk about on this video here is, you really want to watch your self-talk. It is my belief that I think self-talk kills more dreams and destroys more visions than any external force, like basically than your mother or your father or your cousin, your sister, your aunt, your brother, your best friend, or someone telling you, you know what, you can't do that. Oh, just because so and so did it, you can't do it. Oh, you see how he made a lot of money doing that, you can't do it. Or he does a great job at that, but not you. You really got to watch your self-talk and the things that you say to yourself, because I guarantee it, those voices that go off in your brain, telling you what you can and what you can't do, are going to basically, those limiting beliefs right there are what hold more people back, I think, than anything. So really watch your self-talk. Obviously, people are going to be over opinionated. I'm not talking about them. You know that you're going to have that. People are going to have opinions. You have to do, it's your life, and you have to do what you have to do, to make sure that you fulfill that. But very important, watch your self-talk. Watch what you're saying to yourself. A big part of waking up in the morning and me saying, like, where I'm giving thanks, I'm watching what I'm saying to myself. Like, I'm making sure that I wake up with an attitude of gratitude. I'm making sure that, as I go on throughout the day, like, I'm going to have a great day. I'm self-assuring that no matter what happened the day before, no matter what may have went wrong, I'm going to have a great day. My self-talk, is very, very critical to me, and it's critical to my success. It's definitely going to be critical to your success too, if this is something that you really want to do with yourself. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you got something good out of this video. Internal and external growth, definitely just work on is a matter of just working on yourself and doing it daily. If you haven't went and picked up my book, A New Way to Lead, go get that book. There's about 35 chapters in there that talk about things that just range from leadership vision to character, to PMA, that stands for positive mental attitude, structure, integrity. There's a bunch of good things that are inside that book. I covered all bases in the areas of leadership, and I gave really good live examples for some things that did work and were a big success, so that you can mirror those things, and some things that did not work and were not a success, so that you learn to stay away from those things. Excellent book, everybody. Now, everything I do, I put my heart and soul into, so I really hope that you enjoy that. You can pick that up on Kindle, Amazon, whatever. Anyhow, everybody, I hope that you really got something out of this, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.